had a slightly longer break here at Eastern European DPC Division 2, but now we are back. I'm HairFreak and I'm bringing you the Dota action of today. UALEIKUMNIHAO versus cybercats is the current series that we are watching, and well, cybercats coming in as the underdogs, but they still get the victory in the first map. They had a better draft, and well, after it just wasn't that hard to execute, was it? Even though UALEIKUM, they tried some shenanigans, they tried some different things there to get a couple of track kills. It did not work, so we'll see how well they're gonna deal with things in game number 2. I have to say, bounty hunters have been such a hit or miss in the current patch. It's actually insane. It's very weird when you see a hero sometimes dominate through and through, and then you see it just drop the ball completely. But currently the players are in the lobby. They're joining the webcams as well. So we need to wait for that to happen. So before they do, we're not going to be getting ourselves in the draft, but seems like they have done everything that was asked of them, because our players are the best here, and they're no drama queens. They get everything done in time when they're told, how they're told, and that's why we should be getting ourselves into the draft here in just a couple of seconds to see what the teams have in store for us here in game number 2. And if UALEIKUM are gonna, they need this victory if they want to go. Navi Junior wins. There is a fight for Division 1. That's gonna be pretty cool. And if that is the way that things go, we're gonna have a one round robin tomorrow, which is pretty fun.
5 seconds remaining.
Cybercats, they're gonna be getting the Underlord here. UALEIKUM, we're gonna be waiting here a little bit with their response to the Underlord. We have seen Underlords do pretty well. People are using the Fiend's Gate quite nicely, given that the map is so big. It really does help. You use the Twin Gate, then you use the Fiend's Gate, and suddenly you're everywhere on the map. Your enemies have no idea what the hell is happening. Plus, these ore items have been pretty popular. The pipes, the mechs and stuff, and Underlord definitely thrives on those. I haven't seen an ATOS Underlord, so I'm curious to see if that's something is going for. UALEIKUM, they're gonna get the Jakiro, and they get the Alchemist themselves, so they're definitely not playing around. So yes, the Underlord does okay-ish in that lane, right? Not perfect, because your armor isn't great, but they're gonna go for the Rubik. Yeah, that makes so much sense, because there's a Jakiro on the other side. I'm actually surprised. UALEIKUM, they feel like they're out of it with their drafts today a bit, or cybercats are just drafting really well. But this was just a rookie mistake, that you pick a Jakiro and that you leave the Rubik in the pool. You could have went for a Rubik Alchemist and then just pick a Jakiro in the next phase if the enemies don't banish, which they probably wouldn't. People don't necessarily want to waste a ban on a Jakiro. So cybercats, they get rid of the Bat. UALEIKUM, they get rid of the Slark, which is one of the better heroes versus the Alchemist. You're healing, and at some point, you know, the healing does stop, but the Slark gets so many stacks that he just kills you in a couple of hits.
5 seconds remaining.
So what else? I guess cybercats are not going to be banning out any carries, so probably going to be the heroes that can kill the Underlord that you deal with. Yeah, that's a solid one as well. Beastmaster, UALEIKUM, they get rid of the Terrorblade, which is weird. You know, we don't always see the Terrorblade being removed when you have a Jakiro and an Alchemist. That is a hero that you, on paper, should already be able to deal with just the 2 of your heroes. But it seems like they're targeting Alberca. Everything they have. Veno will get banned out. I did see a lot of Veno bans, but really haven't seen any picks just yet. And they go for the Treant protection. In my mind, the Treant has been severely nerfed, but at the early games, right? But later on, it becomes different, right? Because you have so many new spots that you can go through with the Treant. You can find enemies with the shard being very, very weird
5
positionings.
seconds remaining.
The sentries, you can't have as many as you used to, so you can't always know from which angle the Trinity is going to come. So in that regard, I can understand why the Trinity is okay, but in my mind, it's a nerfed hero, laning stage wise for sure. I want to see the Veno changes. It's been banned out. So he has a new ulti that's called the Noxious Plague. Infects an enemy with a deadly plague that does initial burst of damage and additional damage over time based on the unit's maximum health. So pretty much the same as his ulti, just goes on one target. The plague slows the target and nearby enemies based on their distance to the target. When the target dies or the debuff expires, all nearby enemies are infected with a non-communicable version of the plague. So once it runs out or a hero dies, then it looks like the old Poison Nova spreads, and that Noxious Plague spreads to everybody that's in the vicinity. The radius is 800. That's quite a lot. And the Poison Nova is now something you get with the Aghanim Scepter. When Venomancer dies or the effects of Venomous Gale end prematurely on an enemy hero, a spreading ring of poison erupts. So you cannot use it, but if you die or if the Venomous Gale gets purged off, then the Poison Nova does spread. So even more toxicity from the Veno. So they're going to be going for a Viper here on UALEIKUM, which is a solid hero versus the Bloodseeker. The second you run into the Nether Toxin, there's the second that you get slowed down. It pretty much feels like you're driving a car in GTA and the cops use those tire crashers or whatever they're called. Then you just slow down immediately. But these are some strong lanes from cybercats for sure. I'm guessing though you can put this Viper in the offlane and then suddenly this Lich and the Bloodseeker, a lane that should on paper be very strong, actually does lose. So cybercats, what do you ban here? I guess you ban out the mid heroes. Some burst damage. UALEIKUM, that's something they don't have. They have overtime damage, but that means that they won't really be able to finish people off. Puck is a good ban. Ember, I'm okay with it though. When you have a Pit of Malice, it's very hard for the Ember to play. They ban out the Puck themselves on UALEIKUM. So that means that this might be a Haze Viper. I actually do remember Shergrat playing the Viper. I do.
10 seconds remaining.
So cybercats, they what did they ban? Did they get rid of like a Storm, another spirit hero Storm? I still think the Pit of Malice is a little bit too hard to deal with that for any spirit hero. In my mind, they wouldn't have to. Queen of Pain is okay, because that hero builds a BKB relatively early on, and the burst potential does allow you to end the fight pretty early, which is something that you want to do versus the Underlord. There is going to be a pipe here, so some pure damage burst would definitely be great.
10 seconds remaining.
UALEIKUM. What will you ban? They get rid of the Zeus. Okay. I still don't see how you use the Zeus properly. I guess with the Bloodseeker, it's still always going to be good. Cybercats, they also need a mobile hero, but they could go for a spirit hero here. The only problem if you go for a Storm is that they could send the Viper mid and completely crush you. That is a possibility. That's why you have to be thinking about that as well. They could go for the Keeper again. I mean, UALEIKUM, they have no catch. They'll go for the Storm. Okay. So you have the option, send the Viper to crush him, or send the Viper to crush the Seeker. Seeker, I think, would do slightly better versus the Viper than a Storm would.
10 seconds.
So melee heroes in the mid lane now don't really work too well. DP is banned out. That would be a solid one. What about a OD? I haven't seen an OD. I got to see him getting banned out a couple of times. It would be a good one versus the Seeker, a good one versus the Underlord. Even the Storm Spirit in the mid lane wouldn't have the easiest time. You would still have some catch problems. That's an issue. You don't really have a lot of stuns on your Aleikum, and the ones that you have can be easily dodged by the Storm. I guess send the Viper and just crush him in the lane. That's how you deal with it. I feel like that could be an option. Then you get the Viper so tanky that he can stand his ground against anybody. I would be okay with that, especially when you have the living armor. The weakness of the Viper is that he doesn't have that much armor, especially for agility hero. I think he's still an agility hero. The Vano was moved to a universal, but Viper is still an agility hero. It doesn't have that much armor, and that's where the living armor does kick in. So, UALEIKUM, what will you do? They only have 15 seconds of reserve time left, so they really are thinking about this one. I'm not the biggest fan of their draft, I have to say.
Wind Ranger at
You
your
may now
service.
select your heroes.
Now even less so. So it is going to be Sugarrat on the Viper. I know that they played this in the past. UALEIKUM. Who did they play it against? Was it them? Played the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger has 33% win rate. 3 games though, so not a big sample to really draw conclusions from. But I don't like it. I think that cybercats have a better draft again. I don't think the difference is as big as it was in the previous game. So that definitely means that UALEIKUM have a better chance now, because in the previous game didn't have much to begin with. You have an Alchemist. If he gets out of control, he's going to win the game. There's no doubt about that. But I really like the lanes of cybercats, and the Storm isn't really addressed at all. So if the Storm pops off, in my mind, he should be a little bit more greedy. These supports, they're just food. And then if the cores are left on their own, they're not in such a good position. Plus, running people down with the Wind Ranger isn't going to be easy in this game, considering who you're up against. But anyways, guys, we still need to see what's going to be happening in game number 2. Is it going to be UALEIKUM that equalizes the series, or will cybercats win a 2-0? We find out after a short commercial break from our sponsors over at EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600. Cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And there it is. Game number 2 will start now. It's going to be UALEIKUM versus cybercats. Cybercats again on the dire side that bring them victory in the previous one. And after the first round, the wards were placed. Both of the teams smoke up. Oh no, those were just the smokes were used earlier. They expire now. My bad. But anyways, cybercats coming from the side. UALEIKUM, are you ready for this? They did take over the Watchers, so you cannot really go over that. Cybercats, they don't want to reveal that they placed their vision, so they're just gonna move away. Over the ward though, so it should be quite apparent to UALEIKUM where the ward is, where it was placed. It was already circled out by the Jakiro. Let's see. UALEIKUM, they're not to be underestimated. Level 1. If they slow you down, you're not getting away.
The battle begins.
Exen going for that rune. Jakiro going for Alberca. So Alberca will be taking a massive amount of damage here before the lane starts with a blood grenade. He is actually dead. Alberca is gone as the fairy fire. Using it there would have been a mistake. They're gonna go for another blood grenade. They want Ducalis to take as much damage as possible, and this is not a good start to the laning phase for cybercats. Pretty much the same thing happened in the previous game, just the other way around. Cybercats were the ones getting the kill. Let's see, Hayes. how well he's gonna be doing right now. He actually did pretty well on the Bounty Hunter in the mid lane, considering he was up against the Coddle, a hero that you cannot really bully with the Janada, and that he had the Invis level 1 as his spell. Let's see what he can do to Chira. Windranger is a hero that does rely a lot on right clicks, on harassment. Storm is a high armor hero, so not that easy to harass. I want to see how well Bexen will be doing. There's not a lot of trees for the Treant to hide into. But with the Viper on his side, this is a very nasty lane. So we'll see if Alberca is going to be using TPs to escape, what he's going to do. It's not going to be a pleasant experience for him whatsoever. I mean, understandably so. Look at what you're laning against. Once you get more points in Thirst, you're going to be somewhat okay. Just denying everything for him. Bottom lane. First few levels. That's where should be able to thrive with UALEIKUM. But the Underlord, this hero never really gets shut down. Even if you start dropping a little bit in terms of CS, you can get a couple of stacks. Firestorm farms those easily. He's gonna be okay. But Jakiro, super annoying, and even some chip damage there on the tower with the liquid fire. Still, you do have a Rubik, so you shouldn't be in any kind of troubles. UALEIKUM still favored here by EGB, 1.5 to 2.3. Not much has changed even after their loss. I mean, no reason to judge them by just one game. UALEIKUM, they've been playing really well for the entirety of the season, whereas cybercats, they have had mostly downs in this season, despite having some pretty big names. I really like the competitiveness here in Division 2 in Eastern Europe. You know, people are talking about Western Europe and how strong it is. Eastern Europe is pretty powerful as well, though they play a weird type of Dota when they're pretty passive, so you don't really get to experience how good these guys are, but they're big. When Alberca and the gang are barely staying in Division 2, it just goes to show how much Dota has evolved throughout the years. Suregrat is level 3 now, so the poison attack, it does really become an issue right now. Not like it wasn't already, but this is where it really starts doing massive amounts of damage, and Alberca is going to be on the receiving end of that one. Luckily for him, he's a Bloodseeker, so he can get some HP back with relative ease. If there wasn't for that first blood, he would be on par, if not ahead of the Viper right now. Bottom lane, Alchemist farming a little bit better than DK Fogus. I guess to be expected, but it's only because he's an Alchemist. They have the same amount of CS between them. Force Majeure, hoping there were some Lotuses there, but already they have been taken away. Actually, they were taken away by the Underlord, so he's going for the Twin Gate there. His enemies are pretty close. We can kill the Viper, that could be huge. It's going around, the Watcher hasn't been claimed just yet. It's gonna do that just now. And that leaves DK Fogus alone, which means that he's gonna be going down to TP from the Rubik a little bit too late, my friend. And that rotation of his, it costs him the life of his teammate. That will be a second one for UALEIKUMNIHAO. They get themselves another kill, continuing to do really well here at the early stages of the game, which is pretty important. They get the good start, then the Alchemist later on will be able to pop off even more. You win the laning stage just so that you can create space for the Alchemist later on. That's a good way for the game to develop if you are UALEIKUM. Haze. He is not thrusting the Javelin. It doesn't have any motivation here to go and try to kill Chira. He is going to be hitting level 6 first, but Storm Spirits usually do go into the jungle at this time just to make sure that you don't die to any support rotation, which for now doesn't seem to be happening. Though we might see them once the first power rune comes, which is in 30 seconds. The Seeker still farming well. Alberca is having a solid time. Ducalis, not so much. Actually, Alberca just running in. Sugar, he has to be careful inside of the Nether Toxin. Doesn't matter, he just fights and he's gonna be chasing for more Begzen. He's pretty low, which means that Alberca will be super fast. Ducalis, nothing to cancel this, and Begzen gets himself away. But they got the big one. They got the Viper. Alberca very, very happy with this one. The hero, very reliant on getting the early Maelstrom. So if your lane is going badly, you're in a bad position. But if you're having a solid lane on a Seeker, that can really propel you to amazing heights. And he's actually ahead of the Alchemist in terms of farm after that kill. Haze does finish off the Ducalis. Chira doesn't have the mana necessary to go for a counter kill here, so Haze is gonna be okay. That DD definitely coming in handy. And Haze very happy, you know. You're standing in the mid lane, you're farming, and then the enemy support just comes over and gives you a kill. The Ducalis though will be refilling the bottle for Chira, but I don't see them killing Haze here. Actually, with Force Majeure coming over, Lift not gonna be there yet. He will run like the wind into the safety of his tower, and Chira without much mana, he will not be able to chase forward. Let's deny this one, and with the DD, I'll be more than capable of doing it. That's something that the Storm Spirit might find annoying. I'm just kidding, who wouldn't find that annoying? Wind Ranger going for a Bracer, just wants some extra HP. First Wisdom Rune, it is gonna be Mary that steals it. He's gonna take the Watcher as well. Oh, once a hero from Cybercats comes there, it's gonna be very sad. Begzen is gonna get the Wisdom Rune too, so both of the supports of UALEIKUM are gonna be ahead in terms of experience, which is a big deal for sure. For Jakiro, maybe not so much. For a Treant, a big deal, and it's a big deal that you do not allow the Lich and the Rubik to have those. They are quite reliant on their levels, both of them. DK Focus trying to be annoying. He has Vanguard, so not an easy hero to bring down. And though with the Wind Ranger coming over, they might have enough. Let's see how much damage they're actually doing. He's standing his ground, he doesn't care, but look at that damage coming out from the Unstable Concoction. Palantimos does a lot of it. 1 billion arrows will be put into DK Focus, but it is not enough for a kill. Even with the Shackle Shot and the Power Shot.
Is under attack.
Man, he ate 1 billion arrows there. And he still survived. That's what the Vanguard does for you. UALEIKUM, they thought they had the damage, and boy, were they wrong. They weren't even close. Valentimos farming, not farming as much as the as Alberca on the Alchemist in the previous game, but now he's gonna start, right? Going into the jungle, 3 points in Acid Spray. These creeps are goners, and those two camps are just amazing for an Alchemist to farm.
Are scanning.
A lot of small creeps that just give you so much gold because of the creep and speed. But top lane, there might be some action happening with the Chira rotating. Let's see. Viper, not that easy of a hero to go for. We talked about the tankiness of the Viper, especially if there's a living armor there, even though it's only level 1. It is enough at this point of the game to deter Cybercats from going for him, and all 3 of the cores of UALEIKUM are topping the network chart. The margins, not huge, but pretty solid. And Viper is going for an ATOS, okay? I like that a little bit more in terms of lockdown for the Storm. Sugargrat will be getting some Lotuses here for himself. Has to already the 3rd one to create the greater one. Will be quite huge. Alberca, Javelin on him. Just wants the Maelstrom as fast as possible. He's still having a solid game despite being the last person not worth out of all of the cores. Let's see Underlord. Can they bring him down this time? He's been in place for a very long time, even with a bit of malice. There's the Frost Shield. They're pulling the Alchemist in and out. And now here comes Storm getting the Wind Ranger back into the field. Now it's not going to be happening. The Blood Grenade does connect, and Haze is dead. He has the living armor on him, and that's not going to help one bit. Going on DK Focus again. This time around, it will be punished even more. Alberca, he came through the Twin Gates, thinking about going back to the top lane. He's not going to be a part of this engagement. DK Focus is already low, has to be somewhat careful. Their Storm has left, and a bit of malice. Not going to be saving Force Majeure. It's going to be Palantimos who gets another one in the Ducalis. Nope, don't get close, my friend. You're going to die. DK Focus, he ticks out. Two cores attacking this fat guy all the time, but what they needed was a twin hat dragon to use his fiery head to burn him down. Well, that's gonna be him showing his cores how it's done. Twice in a row you guys went for it. Twice in a row it didn't work out.
Illusion.
Burka. Full farming, going for the rupture on Sugarrat. And here comes the storm. Are we pulling him in there? Sugarrat is gone. Gone in a second. You think you're running away, Pexon? That's not gonna be happening. Actually, going into the trees, the storm doesn't have that much mana. Pexon might live, but Alberca a little bit too fast. We'll be taking him down. Alberca, it's double kill now. He's going for Haze. The Haze will be fine. He does have the wind run to keep himself safe. Cybercats getting some key kills on the map. It's going to show how strong and powerful they can be. You just need to delay this. I have to say, late game, UALEIKUM, you're not stronger. You might be farming faster, but you need to be hitting your timings pretty strong. And if Cybercats keep getting these kills here and there without losing their cores, that's going to be quite nice. And Storm and the Bloodseeker have been having a pretty decent game so far. Only one death from the Seeker, the one at the start. The Storm Spirit hasn't died just yet. If he keeps it that way, it's going to be very hard to control this guy as the game progresses. I guess late game, of course, there could be some hexes coming into play. Timos is going for the Radiance here.
Radiant are scanning.
Apparently is
Dire
farming as much as he can as his team is in a smoke. They are going towards the top lane. I would like to catch Alberca. That's not an easy hero to kill. And Hazy's running in, being ruptured. You don't want to do it, my friend. You're gonna bleed out completely one of those days for the Wind Ranger. Now with the Pit of Malice, they're gonna be getting another one. This tree will get cut down. Vexen turns around, but Alberca with just 2 swipes takes him down. They thought they had that one, but I don't know why. Javelin on the Wind Ranger does give you a lot of damage, but without the procs, you don't do anything to a high armor hero like a Seeker.
Dire's middle tower is
Very
under
optimistic play coming in from UALEIKUM, and this Wind Ranger hasn't been working out. Mary. The
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
is looking pretty solid there on him. Pantimos. With the Kalis. Kalis is having Frost to protect him, but here's some Frost and Fire as well. DK Focus running away is a much tougher target to crack. With the Radiance, they are doing a little bit more damage. Let's see, Corrosive Weaponry. Palantimos won't be able to get any stacks there onto the Underlord. How many stacks can you
Dire's
get?
top tower is under attack.
So, 5, 7, 9, and 11. That's a lot of stacks. 5 on level 1, of course. And each of them does slow and reduce your status resistance by quite a lot. Haze. Gone on. Shira doesn't have that much mana. Do you really want to do this? The Frost Shield will be protecting him, but it's not going to protect you against the magical damage of the Viper. Actually, there's the ulti from the Lich bouncing around, but Haze is still alive. Not for long. We're finally taking out. And Jira, he gets the kill there with the Witchblade post-mortem. Alberca makes his presence known, force majeure, and get away. Actually, he's surviving. Alberca is not going to use the rupture, but he's completely caught there. Inside of the nether, Toxic standing his ground and fighting as the Underlord will make his presence known, but they're not doing anything to Pantheos. Finally, will bring him down. The Lich will be the one to end the deal. DK Focus going back to the gate. He understands his Viper might be able to kill him. Sugarrat, he has been untouched and is a little bit too strong. The storm will be coming back fairly shortly, but it doesn't matter. At that point, his Lich will already be dead. Storm is coming in. He maybe go for the hero, going for Sugarrat, and there's the ulti. They will keep him in place. He does have the mana to escape. Jira should be fine. Actually going for the kill. Are you sure that you're going to be doing this one? The Shackle Shot doesn't connect, and he will be fine, zipping himself away, but losing a ton of mana and HP in the process, while Sugarrat, unfazed, he still had the greater healing Lotus, so he wasn't even close to dying. Storm, going in, Jira, what the hell are you doing? Well, I'm dying. What the hell should I supposed to be doing? He will be okay. Ooh. That arrow misses his heart by an inch. The Storm will be surviving barely. Would be a really bad thing if the time points to roll. It does get connected to Rubik. They have the pull-up stuns as well. There is gonna be the Frost Shield too. Magic damage is still hitting him quite a lot. He did steal the spells here from Illuminator, then from Mary as well, but staying in the macro power for a little bit too long, hoping for a kill. Viper, he's under the thirst. But he still has that big Lotus. Nicalis, nice ulti there. It's gonna be bouncing around doing some damage, but he's not enough. And with the ulti, they're gonna be doing so much damage to Nicalis. DK Focus could never have saved him, even with the Crimson Guard that he does have finished. They go for that one. Next item is gonna be the pipe. Understandably, just wants to be protecting his teammates from the damage of the enemies. Deep into the bottom lane, bit of malice will break it, but the Viper might be able to do this one on his own. The silence from the Blood Right will be enough for Alberca to live, and he's gonna be finding some Lotuses here. Thinking about going back into the fight with his current HP, that would be a bad move. So for now, he's gonna be getting himself away. Does have a ton of movement speed, so can't get to those camps, can't get his HP back. Sugarrat. Man, he's strong.
Are scanning.
Sugarrat. He will be getting the Guardian Grease. But for now, he just wants his mech delivered. 2k go lead for UALEIKUM. More than 2k on the Alchemist. This Alberca Seeker, he's gonna be farming the Ancients, getting even closer there. So Seeker is doing well, and Alberca will have his BKB in no time. Whilst Antimos, speaking of BKBs, he is gonna have his delivered in no time as well. Vexen, dead. Chira does a lot of damage. He's approaching level 12 as well. That's gonna be a big power spike for the Stone Spirit. You're a little bit too slow with your ulti when it's level 1. What's Boots of Travel on Chira? Not something we see on the Storm too often. I'll go for it either way. Alchemist has the BKB, and that is a time for UALEIKUM to go for a smoke. Rubik in a good position to break it. UALEIKUM, they're gonna check the first Ancients, and they're like, nope, there's no one there. But Seeker, he's on a graveyard. Good job, bro. We want you in a graveyard because we're putting you in the ground. Sugar is waiting there, and they will be fighting him. But the gate has been opened. Thank you so much. Damage from the Rapture, a little bit too deep. They are going to be killing him, but it doesn't matter if you lose two of your cores. It's still a disaster. Here comes Sugar to assist DP out on DK Focus. He was waiting with a DP. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here to murder all of you. We will bury you here at the graveyard next to the big fossil. 3 heroes of cybercats will die. They will get 2 kills themselves, but losing 2 cores, 2 of your main heroes, that's a big deal. Rubik with the Jewel Breath is going to be doing some serious damage here to Sugarrat, but not enough. Yeah, the kill is still another toxic, good come in handy later on, but that is only if you live long enough to use it. Go forward. That was a nice lift from the Rubik. Actually does save his life. It looked really good for a second there for cybercats, but once you do have the pipe, once you do have the BKB on the Seeker, things are gonna change for the better. For now, UALEIKUM, they're still the stronger of the bunch. Also,
We'll take that.
speaking about sponsors, we have a pretty strong one here. EGB, they have a QR code for you guys. If you scan it, you can get up to a $600 bonus on your first deposit. So be sure to check them out. Scan it with your mobile phone, and everything is gonna be made easy for you here from the side of our sponsors. Speaking of easy, Alberca, he does have a BKB now, so the game isn't gonna become easy for him, but it's gonna become easier. Doesn't have to deal with the Nether Toxin, doesn't have to deal with the stuns, can't get out of the Overgrowth. It will help with a lot of things. We're approaching the minute 20, so the shards for the supports are gonna be there. Speaking of shards, the Seeker would probably want his to be able to stand his ground versus the Alchemist. Smoke from cybercats, they're going without their carry. Their smoke was broken, so they probably aren't gonna be finding anything. The Storm has a DD, so his damage output is quite high if he can get on top of the right heroes. Though if you look at UALEIKUM, they're keeping a really good positioning here and will be fine. Did I have a pipe yet? Not just yet. Underlord will have it in no time. Just the Ring of Health is missing, and that item now is pretty cheap, 700 gold. Alchemist, he does have the Vampire Fangs. Well, he's gonna be healing you the more in fights. I forgot about that item. Anything interesting? Anything new? For those of you guys that might be new to Dota, Blood Fangs was a neutral item that was there from the start. It does give you a spell lifesteal and lifesteal.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's what it does. Vexen gets the Wisdom Rune. The bottom one is still there to be claimed. From each side, of course, much harder for UALEIKUM to get into that part of the map than it is for cybercats. For now, considering that the Wind Ranger is still farming her BKB, I'd say that this stalemate definitely does favor UALEIKUM, but are you going to be able to utilize those timings? That is the real question. I still think Alberca on his Seeker is a big problem, and they're going to go for the smoke. Valentimos, he has the blink. See how much he can do with it. He can get the right jump. They're going for the Seeker, trying to force out the BKB. Not gonna be happening. Sugar he's gonna die. Rupture at the ready, gonna be used. Alberca pops the BKB. Is it time to run it? It seems like it is. Force Majeure will be the first casualty of war, and the Callis will follow pretty soon. Valentimos, he's gonna have a blink very soon. Alberca has to TP away. She'll be successful. It's not gonna be found, but the Lich survives as well. In the end, it is just the Rubik that falls, and the Treant on the other part of the map that was done by the Storm. But overall, you're getting the BKB charge of the Seeker down, which is pretty important. He needs those to fight, especially versus a Nether Toxin. Very hard. I'm liking that Sugarrat is going for a Hex, though. That's a perfect item for a Viper. And also, you're playing against the Storm, who is going to have Ascension Kaya, so it might not last on him for as long as you want. But with an Atos, Hex, and then the Shackle Shot, they should have enough between them to actually bring him down. Chira, if he gets caught by one stun, there is a good chance he's not getting out of it.
Tower is under attack.
Alchemist, level 15. He didn't get the 15 talent. Yes, you could go for the Acid Spray grants armor to allies. Would be quite nice. You can fight inside of that one fight. That's a big difference. Chira, with 2 heroes, you're not killing the Tormentor. You need more. Okay, now they're gonna have the DK Focus come in here, so now nobody's gonna be taking any damage, and the Tormentor will fall. The Aghanim Shard going towards the Rubik. UALEIKUM, they want to do the same thing. Let's see who's going to be luckier on their side. It's going to be Vexen or the Jakiro. I feel like it would be better for Vexen to get it. Just get away. Let Valentimos deal with this on his own. Haze coming over as well. So he's going to be taking a ton of damage here from the Tormentor, and Jakiro does receive it. It would have been better on the Treant, but it's not bad on Jakiro at all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Keeping full stop. Wants to kill the Treant. Glimmer Cape will keep Vexen alive. Jira gets himself away. He's gonna have the Sanjin Kaya fairly soon, but you have to run here. Athos connects on you and you're in trouble, and it does. Where's the follow-up stun? Not gonna be there. Nice Sinister Gaze coming out from the Callis, and he has the drums to just get himself away. Self-stun from the Alchemist. The fucking Haze coming from the side with Shackle Shot and a billion arrows. He will keep the Callis in place for the Mud Golems to get the kill. That's very unfortunate. You committed so much there, 5 heroes coming in, and in the end you get nothing. At least they're gonna be getting a tower. Finally, this top tier one will fall. It has taken them forever. To be honest though, they haven't lost a single. This is the first. What? This is the first tower of the game. We have 28 kills, and only now the tower has fallen. Okay, yeah. Really, when you look at it, we did have only farm, smoke, and smokes were always very deep into enemy territory. There were never smokes for objectives. Oh, they're waiting for Roach, who's now coming through the gate. Oh, I'm going to hang out in my other cave now. Well, yeah, there's some burglars there who are ready to take your life. And with the focus fire, this poor Roach is going to be taken down super fast. The cybercats never getting a chance to respond. The fall, they have no idea. is happening, and it will give the Aegis most likely to, I was about to say Palantimos, but I'm gonna pretend now that I knew that Hayes was gonna take that one. He is the squishiest of the cores on the side of UALEIKUM. So 1 tower and 1 Roche fall for 26 minutes. Cool. With this kind of a pace, we're gonna be here in this game for at least 3 hours, guys. So get yourself buckled up. This is gonna be a long series. Force majeure. Maybe he's present in the bottom lane. He still has a blood grenade. Pretty interesting for the timing on the clock. Manta on the Seeker. I like that one. He has another way of getting out of the overgrowth. Definitely need those. He doesn't want to bash. He wants to feel Mjolnir. So it's all about damage for him. I can get it. You want to do as much damage as possible during the duration of the BKB. I have to say though, you are taking a long time here for UALEIKUM. You are not that far ahead with an Alchemist. You are gonna have damage issues. You will definitely have damage issues. At some point, your supports, especially the Jakiro, do a lot, so that's big. But if the Wind Ranger dies, who is finishing people off? The Viper will do a lot of damage, but not to one target. The Alchemist as well. The Jakiro as well. But let's say your Wind Ranger dies. You have nobody that's going to be finishing people. You will get them in lane towers. That's nice. With the smoke, they're going to make something happen. Bricka might be on the receiving end here of the smoke, but for now he will get himself away. The smoke hasn't broken, and he's in the mid lane. Well, looking towards the bottom lane, the poor Rubik. It seems like he's gonna be the casualty, and yep, the Rubik will get caught. And, has absolutely no way of surviving this one. It's still the acid spray, so at least something will get taken down easily, and that should be another tier 1 that falls. So UALEIKUM, they're definitely focusing on objectives now a little bit. But their gold lead is just diminishing more and more. It's only 1,000. You're an Alchemist lineup. You need more than that. Ducalis is gonna take the ward down. Please immediately go for it. Ducalis, I don't know what you were doing, but it's gonna be punished. You were just staying next to the Watcher for such a long time. Just wanting to pull them away, and then his teammates are gonna be left all alone. Mary not getting out of this one. The Blood Right will be the thing that secures the kill. Alberca not even getting close there, but he's the one that claims it. So 2 supports, cybercats die, but UALEIKUM, they lose to 1 support of their own as well. For Finn, he has to buy his own shard. He was hoping Lord Gaben would be merciful and gave it to the Jakiro. Alberca slaps the tower. He's like, nope, I suck at this. I'm gonna go back. Okay. Pretty interesting. Doesn't really care
Every coin helps
about the push at all. He feels like it's not the time, and I feel like I agree. The Wind Ranger are gonna be getting a Gleipnir, so that's gonna be another lockdown spell. Unfortunately for him, the Storm Spirit is getting closer and closer to the BKB. He's gonna have that for less than 1,000 gold. Good thing for UALEIKUM, their BKBs are healthy. They have a 9-second one and a 8-second one on the Wind Ranger and the Alchemist. The Seeker has a healthy BKB, but to be honest, versus a Pit of Malice, you want really
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
really high BKB counts. You need to be able to kill people inside of those. When it comes to cybercats, longer fights, they're gonna be okay with it later on. Not ideal. Seeker would ideally want to jump in and kill somebody, but the Storm Spirit is he is gonna be able to go into the backlines and kill the supports. There's no doubt about it. Hayes going towards the cliff. They do have a gem on their hand. Cybercats, they have one as well. They have pretty good vision in the bottom lane, so Hayes, you're running into that one. Uses the Gleipnir. What was stolen? It is going to be the Wind Run. You still need to use it on the Rubik. Wind Run, TP out. Force Majeure, not using it because there's going to be more heroes coming his way, and even with the stolen Wind Run, he will be taken down. Hayes is the one that secures it. Poor Force Majeure. He is just always dying. The Aegis will expire, and with this one, UALEIKUM, they did manage to get all of the tier 1s down. Which for a first Aegis isn't bad, but considering that it's 30 minutes in, it's not really an achievement to be super proud of. They did keep all of their tier 1s alive still. Let's see how much that helps, because cybercats, I'm pretty sure they can dive those with ease. The Alchemist, he gets a Basher. Bloodseeker currently has a shard, looking towards the Basher himself, wants the Skadi as well. Skadi is going to be a big item here, but Basher is more of a necessity, I'd say. Oh, look at Palantimo's farming. We really haven't had big action for a very long time, so I'm hoping that the players aren't getting sleepy, because I know the viewers are. This game, we'll love to watch this
Radiant's bottom
this
tower is
RPG
under
here.
attack.
Map is 40% bigger, so I guess we can say they can't find each other. They can be apologists here. Sugargrad, he's the one without KD. He has been scanned, and the Storm Spirit will jump in the back for him. Sugargrad thinks he can escape, going through the portal. Not gonna be happening. As resistance there, the Storm will be watching for the Palace keeping in place. The Hyper will die. Jira is keeping the backlines for sure, taking a lot of damage. That's getting focus as far as the secures the kill. Jira doesn't have that much mana. The Rupture on Haze is keeping her in place, but the Glimmer Cape will be protecting him as well. Yeah, look at that tackle and connection going nowhere. The Bash is coming in, and Valentimo's keeping the secret place. He bombs the BKB, turns around, goes for a fight, and it will be bashed before he gets a kill and gets the heal. So Cybercats, they lose too. Their dive isn't gonna be giving them all that much. And look at Vex in there with the Ogre Seal Totem, gets close enough to the College to get the roots onto him. Those roots will be keeping him in place for long enough for Valentimos to get another kill for himself. So Spirit jumps in, Jira playing with his life. But he will not be defending this tier 2. They have the glyph, will be using it. Another wave of creeps is coming, so there's absolutely no chance that this tier 2 will be surviving.
Dire's bottom tower
They needed to kill that Viper faster, and Storm using like 70% of his mana didn't help either. That's the first big engagement that we've had in a very long time. Jira. Over here, he tries to dodge it, but is not going to be able to do it. He has been caught, even with all of the status resistance in the world. He will be kept in place and brought down, and that's a huge kill. UALEIKUM, they have finally been able to break Cybercats, if we can say it that way, because Cybercats have been keeping themselves in this one in terms of gold for a very long time. DK Focus will be next. Lotus Orb will be there. He's going to have himself. Doesn't matter now. A shackle shot, beautifully done at Lotus Orb, and another shackle shots who are flying everywhere. That's really last gone there, catching him with the Sinister Gaze and the Pit of Malice, but the Moon Ranger will be able to get herself away. Beautiful. Cybercats showing that they can use these Wind Ranger spells, and that Shackle and Force Majeure, that is a huge deal that could change so much in the upcoming fights. A 6k gold lead still isn't a comfortable spot. It's only the difference between the Alchemist and the Seeker, and to be honest, the Alchemist isn't that much stronger. Vexen gonna be coming over the other shore. DK Focus returning Gate Plus as well. Leaves DK Focus takes some damage. There's the stolen shackle shot, and now the ulti from the Lich. But here comes Valentimo's gonna be starting to do support. They are gone inside of the macro fire. The shackle shot is gonna be beautiful as well. They're connecting on the 4 DK Focus, who will not move an inch. That's gonna be 3 easy kills.
Radiant's
Without their cores, they just don't do
attack.
damage. I don't know how Cybercats thought that fight could go their way. Storm Spirit going through, killing the creeps, and in the process defending his mid lane tower with the Roche not being up. UALEIKUM, they don't really have an objective to take, so they're just gonna have to be content with the one fight. And finally now, they have a gold lead that you can be somewhat proud of and feel confident with. Their win probability, 73%. Lord Gaben, he is never wrong. Okay, Cybercats, you have to get one tower. Come on. Perka is level 21. We'll know how much damage the Seeker can do with the shard. Jump in, sure grab. It's gonna be fine. Cheer up. This time around, he's not gonna be using all that much mana. He has a Titan Sliver, so Storm Spirit going full on status resistance. He is level 20 as well. wants the Lincoln Sphere. I guess Aghanims wouldn't be bad.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Or Lich. Such a long stun coming out from the Alchemist when you have the Abyssal, when you have the
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
when you have the follow-up stun as well from the Unstable Concoction.
Radiant structures.
Shurgrat, he has the shard too.
Are scanning.
They take their second Tormentor?
Dyer's
No.
top tower has
Both of the
fallen.
Tormentors are up, but people are
Radiant's
just
bottom
buying
tower
shards.
has fallen.
Shackle Shot will connect, nice force that. Fiend's Gate is gonna be there, but Paladimos cannot go through it. Alberca is in so much trouble. This Focus Fire is killing him. Actually, Alberca going for a TPO. Ace doesn't see him. Oh, the Overgrowth will be there. He has been found. The trees are talking to Bexon, giving him the info where his enemies are. And that's gonna be a fourth engagement in a row that ULA could win without a single hero lost. Cybercats, speaking of being lost, they are currently lost on the map, not knowing what to do, how to fight. Haze is very strong in his Wind Rage. I had my doubts about the hero, but it is proving to be pretty powerful here in the later portion of the game. Just running in onto the Seeker, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. Roach will fall. It's going to be an Aegis into Haze, and he takes the cheese as well. Immortality. That's a pretty excited way to say it. They took down 5 towers themselves, UALEIKUM, whilst Cybercats, they took down only one. The one on the bottom lane, the easiest one to claim. And UALEIKUM, they're gonna go for a smoke themselves. Let's see where they'll go. What will they do? Big items from Cybercats. They haven't come out for a pretty long time. Shira, be careful. Don't want to pop your BKB. But Haze is coming, you might have to. Shira juking around the trees there. He has better vision, so he's now gonna know that he wasn't spotted. He's playing with his life here, but doesn't have a TP, so has to be somewhat careful.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
So other than his Lincolns, is there any other big item? The Underlord wants the Hex. The Bloodseeker can finish his Basher in the near future. Ghost Scepter on the Rubik, that's a big one. Oh, Hex on the Rubik. Yeah, Ghost Scepter not gonna help you all that much, but the 4 staffs, nice. Gonna be bringing himself towards Haze, who this time around isn't gonna be allowing any neutral creeps to claim his kill. Shurgrat, he's level 21. Which talent did he get? The 25% poison attack, slow and damage. That's a lot of damage and slow that's gonna be coming up from him. The Kalis has been found. And Bexon is just waiting for someone to come and assist him. Kalis, he cannot escape. He's going to be using the dust. Using the drums as well. There's the Overgrowth who's coming from the side. It's going to be the Alchemist. So you have no ways of getting out of this one alive. He pretty much gets one-shotted. After the overwhelming bleed comes in, this Alchemist, he packs a punch. Net worth lead. Alberca. You need to be out.
You were still alive?
He decides not to.
Shooting.
We'll take that.
If you were still alive, he'd still be shooting. Yeah, okay, so he has the Aghanims in the Wind Ranger, so he's now invisible going around the map. Did hit level 25 as well. Focus Fire kills advanced cooldown by 20 seconds, which means you use the Focus Fire, you kill somebody in 5 seconds, and then you have a 5-second cooldown on Focus Fire. That's sick. Haze is huge. He's level 25. He is big. He is strong. The Crimson Guard not really gonna help your tower all that much, so this Focus Fire will really fairly soon. Bexon going into the backline, still placing a ward and a sentry in the enemy base. Been from the storm, going on Haze, still has the Aegis, so he's more than safe to continue doing what he is right now. That's taking down your base. That's taking tower with relative ease. Let's see if he can do anything more. He's gonna have a Focus Fire in 4 seconds. The Lich Frost Shield is gonna be protecting him slightly. You need more time. Come back in. Haze dropping low. Ice Path doesn't connect on the Storm, but that was super close. A follow-up Hex would have been there, and then Storm probably would have died. They defend their base. Still, it doesn't stop the gold lead from UALEIKUM getting out of control. Now it's no longer just the Alchemist that is holding all of the gold. everybody on UALEIKUM is very, very farmed and very rich as well.
Double damage.
Oh. Double damage for Hayes. He has the greater healing lotus there to give him a little bit more in terms of HP. And this wind run invis, it doesn't really show that much of an invis, does it? And downtime on wind run is 3 seconds. Well, he won't be able to catch the storm. The DD is expiring, so at least something, because these crits, look at that, 1300 crits. Imagine with the focus fire that you're getting like 1000 crits into you every half a second. 1000. Goodbye, you're dead. Viper gets a really nice neutral item for himself. Having the timeless relic is huge, especially with the items that he has. You have the Hex, you have the Atos. Those are gonna last for a very long time.
Barracks are under attack.
Spell Prism on the Underlord. It's huge. He would love to get a Hex, his Hex as well. UALEIKUM, they're inside of a smoke. The Aegis will be expiring now in just a couple of seconds. So you're not gonna have that. The Jakiro has an Aghanim Scepter and level 18. Once he gets level 20, that's gonna be a lot of damage from the Macro Pyre if he wants that talent. But either way, it's a lot of damage from the Macro Pyre. Imagine you're a Seeker, you're running through everything. That's the problem. Seeker, he needs that MKB for sure. You need to use the Rupture onto the Wind Ranger and beat her up. There's just no other way around it. And considering that the Wind Run is only 3 seconds downtime, that is a problem. He does get the Mindbreaker, so that's a cool item for the Seeker. Storm's still sporting the Titan Sliver. So what did he make? Oh, nothing. He's
Radiant's
just
middle
keeping
tower
that tier
is
4
under attack.
token. The win probability over 90%, so single digits there for cybercats. But they're not giving up. They're going for a smoke. Hayes running in. This would be a good hero to kill at the start. Okay, there he is. He's going to be protecting the Lich. Not for long. He goes down. Alberca going to be going on impact. But yeah, this will be protecting Alberca. He's trying to fight. He's going onto the Alchemist, doing some damage. But the matches are going to be there now, surrounded by so many heroes. The Shackle Shot will keep him in place. You caught 4 heroes. The buyback from the Rubik won't really be changing anything. And Hayes does so much on this Wind Ranger. Storm will do his best to protect the base, but it is just not going to be easy. They're going to push from every single side. And once just one creep gets into the base of cybercats, then they can go
Dire's
ham.
middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
UALEIKUM going for a push. They're creeps. They're not there, but are coming through the mid lane, and there it is. No more backup protection. Without the Lich, without the Frog Shield, you have no ways of protecting these. They do have a glyph, so maybe they say to the melee Raxes, no, they're gonna let them fall. Cybercats, they lose the range back in the bottom lane. Melee ones will be dropping down quite easily as well. Viper, he just does so much damage to them. But Valentimos and Hayes, they're no pushovers either. 36 to 14. Cybercats, when was the last time these guys got a kill? A very long time ago. I think it was Sugar at the died there on the bottom lane. They went for the push, jumping from the storm. There's gonna be heals immediately, which means the Wind Ranger isn't taking any damage. They're deciding to bail out for now. The tower might actually live there, so 1 tier 3 still available for cybercats. But you have to go. You have to go, really. The next Roche, it's just gonna be a free push for UALEIKUM. Won't be able to fight outside of your base that deep. You go now when the enemies are not expecting it. There it is. There's the last hurrah. The smoke coming out. Gavin says they have 1% chance of winning this one. It has to start with this smoke working out. If it doesn't, we can round it out to a big, fat 0. The Storm Spirit, he makes his presence known there in the lane. Put the Remnant down, so now they know that he is smoked. UALEIKUM, they are on the high ground. Cybercats, where will you go? What will you do? They got out of the base. Look at the look at their base. It's in troubles, but Roche did spawn pretty early. We're not gonna check it. We'll check it now. The Callis nose is there. He did come through the gate. Sugarrat coming over, and he will jump off the high ground. He takes some damage. Up in the air. No, Sugarrat is just not taking any of it. Jira goes to the side, is looking through the broken beast response to JD. He'll be okay for now, but Hayes, he has skilled Alberk already, and with a beautiful travel shot, he's just using his spells perfect. You better call GG now before they kill all of you, which they have already managed to do. The only one left standing is Ruby, who fought back earlier. GG being called, the throne will fall. UALEIKUMNIHAO will equalize the series, forcing out the decider. They want to go to Division 1 without any tiebreakers, and this is a good start. They did lose game number 1, didn't have a good draft. Here in game number 2, I would argue that cybercats had a slightly better draft here as well, but it wasn't that big of a difference. And then UALEIKUMNIHAO, they showed that they're the better team. But they still need to prove it thoroughly by winning the entire series, and we don't know if they'll be able to do so, but guess what? We'll be finding out after a 10-minute break. We'll be back with the decider of this best of 3 series.